Well, there are some exciting new things happening in Cartersville right now, including the development of a new art walk in the historic downtown. Art walk will include 3 sculptures, the first of which will be officially unveiled this afternoon. And Good Day Lettuce Paul Milliken is live outside Cartersville City Hall, and there is a fascinating backstory to this work of art. We want to hear it, Paul. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Hopefully you were watching last hour and we really delved into the story. There it is, the beautiful sculpture, Pathways to Freedom. And it really is such a stunning addition to this already thriving downtown. If it's been a while since you've been to Cartersville, there is so much going on right now. And this art walk will be a beautiful addition. So this sculpture will be unveiled later this afternoon, and it tells such a fascinating story, one that's missing from a lot of history books. And somebody who knows that story very well is our good friend Mina Harper, who is the chair of the African American Quilt Documentation Project of Bartow County. Now, your group commissioned this sculpture. So before we get into the group, let's talk about the sculpture specifically. What does Pathways to Freedom represent?
Each one of the blocks is a conventional quilt pattern that has symbolic meaning. To an escaping slave, those code meanings facilitated his escape. A quilt with one pattern, say the North Star, would be hung out, and that would say you're nearing the north, you're headed for the north, or it would mean follow the North Star to freedom.
Yeah, an amazing story. So those were coded messages for the African American slaves who were on the Underground Railroad, and so you wanted to make sure that story was told through this sculpture.
Definitely. The sculpture represents, it symbolizes the hopes and dreams of the generations of humanity under bondage whose deepest desire was to gain self-realization, self-determination through freedom. So those slaves who attempted freedom, who had the courage and cunning to escape, we're calling were the pioneers of emancipation. But these blocks were their pathways to freedom.
It's really an incredible story, and I want to just say really quickly, you must be thrilled with how it turned out.
The artist is amazing.
Yeah.
He is a very personable man who listened to us and who used his creative ability to interpret what we wanted, to produce something that is his. It's from his heart. It's from his soul. But it's exactly what we wanted.
It tells that larger story. Mina, thank you so much. So again, this is the first of 3 sculptures that will make up the artwork, and Lily is here to talk more about that. So this art walk here in downtown Cartersville, what a great addition to what you've already got. Tell me why you wanted this here.
Well, we have an incredible art infrastructure already in Cartersville. We have the Booth Museum, we have galleries, we have 2 thriving theaters. With all of this going on, we really wanted to bring the public art and that cultural experience into downtown so that anyone just walking by could have an opportunity to engage with that.
Yeah, and this is really a great example of a piece of art that will inspire conversation.
Absolutely, and I think it already has. I mean, just from the basic, what is this, what's going on, tell me more about it, to the folks who just didn't know a thing about that story. Yeah,
well, your crews have been out setting up tents all morning, so we know there's a ceremony coming up today to officially unveil this. Let's invite everybody. Tell me about the ceremony.
So the ceremony is going to be this afternoon at 2 p.m. here in front of City Hall in downtown Cartersville. We are going to have a book signing and a ceremony with candle lighting. We're going to have some singers and just a little speech kind of talking about the quilt tradition in the African American community. We have somebody who's intimately familiar with it. Her grandmother was a quilter in Alabama. She's written a book about it, about her own journey through that.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much. It is so great to be here. I know you're excited about all the stuff going on in downtown Cartersville. So just another quick example, Elise. So at the very bottom of the sculpture, you see that circular pattern right there. So a lot of historians believe that was representing a wagon wheel. And so what that would tell somebody escaping on the Underground Railroad is that there would be transportation available, or a wagon may be coming up. So keep your eye out for that. So again, a lot of historians are currently doing research to try to figure out exactly what these different symbols meant, and if indeed they were sending coded messages on the Underground Railroad. What a story, right?
Yeah, pieces of history. Teaching us some lessons today, Paul. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Coming up tomorrow morning, we are drifting